Hey Freedom Lovers, this is Dr. Peterson Pierre with America's Frontline Doctors bringing you today's Daily Dose. A federal jury has awarded $687,000 to a research scientist who was fired from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee for refusing to comply with the company's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. Tanya Benton, who had worked at the firm for 16 years when she was fired, was awarded $177,240 in back pay, $10,000 in compensation, and $500,000 in punitive damages, according to a document made public by the federal court in Eastern Tennessee on June 30th. Company officials told Ms. Benton in August of 21 that she would need to be fully vaccinated to keep her position, according to her lawsuit. Ms. Benton refused, good for her, saying aborted fetal cells were involved in the development of the COVID-19 shots and she couldn't, quote, in good conscience consume the vaccine, which would not only defile her body but also anger and dishonor God, end quote. Blue Cross Blue Shield said her position involved, quote, regular external public-facing interactions, end quote, so she couldn't keep it. While Ms. Benton said her position became fully remote in 2020, Blue Cross Blue Shield said it would have involved some in-person interaction with clients. Ms. Benton was told to pursue other positions within the company and applied for 2, but she was fired on November 4th of 21 and was told 5 days later that, quote, unfortunately, all positions require the vax now, end quote, according to an email entered in the case. Her lawsuit charged that Blue Cross Blue Shield violated Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which many people seem to have forgotten during this crisis, but let us remind ourselves what that says. It says an employer may not, and I quote, discharge any individual or otherwise discriminate against any individual with respect to his compensation, terms, conditions, or privileges of employment, end quote, because of that person's religion. Employers can disregard religious exemption requests if they can prove accommodating them would create an undue hardship. Blue Cross Blue Shield, quote, cannot prove that allowing plaintiff to continue her employment as a biostatistical research scientist without being vaccinated for COVID-19 constitutes an undue hardship, end quote, the suit stated. The company, quote, also cannot show that it made any good faith efforts to accommodate plaintiffs' sincerely held religious beliefs, end quote. Blue Cross Blue Shield also was accused of violating the Tennessee Human Rights Act, which bars discrimination by employers at the state level. So, as we've been saying all along, all these companies have been operating illegally. And as long as the courts in this country uphold the law, they will all be found guilty. They will all be fined because what they did was a violation of human rights. Forcing you to take an experimental drug is a violation of human rights, regardless of whether or not it's your company or even the government. Because at this point, we know the government is pretty corrupt, including the FDA, which is also the government, and the CDC, which is also the government. Ladies and gentlemen, only the truth will set you free. Stay tuned for the next Daily Dose.